Yo, what up guys, Mysterious here, and we're back with a new video, how to beat Irelia this time. And I know a lot of people don't like Irelia, so do I, and I don't play Irelia. So I asked a dear friend, a nice Irelia main, to spill me the secrets, and he did. So if you are an Irelia player and you're mad, this is the guy that you gotta get. Let's get into this. So, starting off with strengths and weaknesses. Irelia has a lot of wave clear, and this wave clear also allows her to tempo reset extremely easy, very fast, and she can be extremely greedy with her waves. She also has insane mobility with her Q, of course. Insane damage. We all know that we get when we get one shot by an Irelia. She's very good at extended fights because of her rune and of her passive, and she's therefore also very good in an extended lane. But to these strengths also are, of course, weaknesses. Irelia is very mechanical and she's easy to mess up on. She really hates short trades because of her kit wanting to have extended trades. She's very reliant on passive stacks. No passive stack means half the damage. And mid to late game, Irelia is extremely hard to play. Her team fighting is super hard to actually get down on, and it's super easy to just die in a team fight without doing anything. And last but not least, Irelia is also very committal. Once she's in, it's kind of hard to go out, especially if there's no minions. So, what do Irelias want to do? Irelia wants to kill you. The mindset of an Irelia player is she's looking to kill you all the time, and everything that she does is to try and kill you. So she will manipulate the wave state to it having to be on her side. She will isolate the lane, preferably in a 1v1. So once the wave is on her side and she knows that she's alone without enemy jungler, she will go in on you. She'll try to land in the E and then she'll try to kill you. In the side lane, she also tries to isolate the side lane. In the side lane, she will use the minions to get onto you, get an extended trade, extended fight, extended lane, and therefore try to kill you. If she has to team fight, Irelias usually only want to team fight with Flash and Ult because those are the tools that she has to actually team fight somewhat properly. And as an Irelia, because they know that team fights can sometimes be extremely hard, especially without these two tools, they want to end the game as soon as possible. Alright, so what do Irelias hate? Irelias hate an opponent that respects them. As we figured, Irelia is looking to kill you all the time, so when an opponent respects them, that's impossible. Same thing with enemies hovering around mid. So when an enemy is hovering, for example, your jungler is hovering around mid, she cannot really kill you, so she just hates when that happens. She also hates front to back team fights because it's super hard to execute. She basically needs flash and R to do that, and in slow games, there will be a lot of front to back team fights, so this is not really what she likes. As well, when she's not able to play the side lane, that's also where she struggles. In the side lane, she's also looking to kill you. So either when she's very behind, or the game just really doesn't revolve around side lane, that's where Irelia struggles. Because then again, we get back to the team fighting scenarios, and Irelia is not that strong into team fights because it's super hard to execute. And then, last but not least, Irelia usually tries 3 to 4 waves to really set up the perfect wave state. And when she has the perfect wave state, the worst thing that can happen is when the enemy jungle or support shows up to fix the wave state for the enemy laner and basically gives the enemy laner a free out of jail card. And this allows Irelia to this doesn't allow Irelia to kill the enemy laner, and that's basically what she wants. So how do we actually beat Irelia? If we're looking to beat Irelia in lane, we want to aim for short trades and not extended ones. We also want to not get hit by the E, of course. But if we don't really look to beat her, which I think is the right mindset, because Irelia is an extremely strong laner, what we can do is we can adopt the mindset, pretend that our champion skills. So what we want to do is we just want to avoid the lane, know that she's extremely strong in lane, and basically play for the late game, play for the team fights, play for the dragon skirmishes, for the front to back skirmishes, because that's what Irelia hates. So to do that, we gotta respect her. We cannot die, and we gotta respect her, and we gotta find a way to not get our wave frozen on. So we gotta get our A plus grade wave management game on. It's very important. And if the wave gets stuck for whatever reason, because that will just happen in the game, call our jungler, call our support, fix the wave state, and respect straight after again. We also want to respect her in the side lane. What we figured from Irelia, she's looking to kill you all the time. So as well, when we're facing off against her in the side lane, everything she's trying to do is to kill you. The way we respect this is by understanding minion waves. There's a lot of minion waves coming in the side lane, and she will use those minion waves as gap closures onto you. So we gotta understand that we really gotta take our distance from the minions, and also our distance from Irelia. So, what are good and bad picks into Irelia? Reddington Pantheon, extremely lane dominant champions that beat Irelia in lane, first of all, but also in team fights, it's way easier to execute these champions because they get lockdown, easy point and click lockdown CC. And that's exactly what Irelia struggles against in team fights specifically. Also, Vex. Vex is an amazing neutralizer. She avoids the bad lane because Irelia has a lot of dashes. Vex is very good against dashes. She can basically just clear the waves from long range, and if Irelia tries to go onto her, she can always keep her stun or her fear, and that can actually cancel Irelia's dash if she times it correctly. So as Irelia, it's extremely hard to play against the Vex in lane. Bad matchups are mages like Corki and Orianna. They are too weak to really bully Irelia, and it's easy to get the wave into a bad position. They don't have the damage or the escape tools to really deal with her, and she will mess them up. Another bad example is Yone, because Yone gets outstat checked by Irelia, especially after first base. It's very hard for Yone to play the game, especially when the wave is in awkward position and he has no way to unfreeze it except for calling his team. So there's one high elo trick that Irelias use, and especially in high elo, you will see this a lot. And that's when Irelia hides her E. So let's take a look at this. She jumps onto this minion, and you're instantly stunned, basically. Let's take a look at this again. She jumps on the minion, and we're stunned. Got another example here. Irelia sees a few low health minions, throws the E in the Q cast, and it's extremely hard to avoid an E like that. It's almost undodgeable because you don't have the reaction time to see it, and because it gets hidden in the Q. So what we gotta do is we gotta really understand and set ourselves in the mindset of an Irelia player to make sure that this doesn't happen. We want to know, we know from Irelia that she wants to kill us. So what we see is we see these low health minions. Irelia wants to jump to these low health minions, and knowing the fact that she can either E during her Q cast to hide it, we can either anticipate it and avoid it, we can either respect it, or we can either bait it out and just try to skill check her. So what we can do is we can either move back, knowing that she wants to jump on this low health minion to reset her Q cast, of course, or we know that she wants to do the dashes right here and anticipate, okay, she's going to do dash dash, and she's going to throw the E. So I'm just going to sidestep it before she actually lands it, and we actually skill check her that way. So if we would have moved up right here, knowing that she would have done this, she would have missed the E. And is it foolproof? No. Is it high skill ceiling? That for sure, and it's definitely a possibility to outplay this. All right, so in this example, I want to take a look at a Viktor playing against an Irelia MID. And this is exactly how we beat Irelia as a control mage, by staying extremely safe and eventually just calling our jungle. That's sometimes what we have to do. So Viktor lets Irelia shove into him. He's very, very careful with the waves. We can actually see this here, and the wave is going into him. That's good because now Irelia cannot basically kill him over a long lane. And yes, she gets the E onto him, but he's so close to his tower that he actually that Irelia catches a tower shot. So this is a very awkward position for the Irelia. She's using a lot of mana here on the wave. The wave state is extremely awkward, and everything that she tries to do is to get that wave state back to her own side. And we as Viktor, we cannot really stop the shove here. It is what it is. So what we do is we just try to play with the bounce. This does mean that Irelia gets some prio, but that's completely fine. So we push the wave, and what we're going to do is we're going to play with the bounce, and we're going to try to bounce such a big wave that Irelia cannot thin it out and that it's able to be crashed and then we can go for a nice little tempo reset ourselves. We opted in for exhaust, which is extremely important in a situation like this, because without exhaust, she basically can just run us down over the long lane. So Irelia went for a hover on top side. That didn't result into anything, but now the wave is actually in a pretty awkward situation. This is the perfect wave state for Irelia. Thank God we're a level up and we have exhaust, because that's the only reason why she cannot fully all-in us right now. She is, of course, still going to try. It's an Irelia. We dodged the E very nicely, and we got our support Aatrox hovering around, of course, the classic. So this messes up Irelia a lot, because she tries to go in. We have the W. She tries to go in again. We have the exhaust. She's extremely committal. She cannot go out. Now we have our jungler showing up again. Our jungler is showing up too, and she's basically screwed. And to really reiterate, right, in a situation like this, because this is actually the way we beat Irelia as a control mage or a very squishy champion. This is the wave state that we want to avoid at all costs. So what we do is we either make sure that we shove it in, we either respect her by standing extremely far backwards and just getting the XP, or we call our team to help us. Because if we die in a situation like this, it's worst case scenario. She gets the kills, she keeps the wave state, she resets, and we're just absolutely screwed. We cannot die in a situation like this. So this is the time where we really gotta have the exclamation marks pop up in our head and make sure that we get out of this situation, because in other situations we fare way better. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for this video. I thank you all for watching, and if you guys have any questions, leave it down below in the comments. And I also would really like to know what champion you would like to see next week. So I thank you all for watching, and I wish you a great day. Bye bye.